as you can see. Violent protests spread from Paris to Belgium and the Netherlands. At least 700 people were arrested in Paris as 5,000 demonstrators faced off against 8,000 police in another violent demonstration by yellow vest protesters. Riots broke out all over France, despite the supposed cause of the violence being eliminated earlier in the week by the government of traitor Emmanuel Macron. The government had been claiming that the fuel tax increase was to blame for the protest, but the government rescinded the increase on Wednesday. And I've got a picture which I'll pop up. I think I've got it in this. I put it on yesterday, where it shows you, I think I did actually, where it shows you the protesting, not just about the fuel taxes, the corrupt government, the paedophiles in government, just like this country. The whole of the Western world is run by Satanists that are paedophiles. There you go. Welcome to Palestine, when even the children have more courage than the genocidal Zionist scum that is invading their land and committing war crimes, and yet they get away with it. Any other country did what they do, they'd be invaded, but because it's the Zionist scum, they get away with it. There you go. The true terrorists of our world do not meet at the docks at midnight or scream Allah Akbar before some violent action. The true terrorists of our world wear $5,000 suits and work in the highest positions of finance, government and business. By Peter Joseph, and never a truer word said. But thankfully, the whole planet seems to be becoming aware of the corruption, and it's time for the whole planet to rise up and regain Eden, which is what this planet can be if we get rid of the evil bastards that have been keeping us down for so long. Liverpool Council finds 24 adult asylum seekers who are posing as children as it launches legal fight to stop almost $1 million in taxpayers' cash being spent on their care. Liverpool Council say 39 refugees with age in doubt have arrived in the city. Following assessments, 24 were found to be adults, while only 15 were under 18. Support for under 18s is much better than for adults, so some lie about their age. A legal fight has begun to stop almost $1 million of taxpayers' money being spent on the adult asylum seekers posing as children. It emerged last night. Deport them. Just deport them back to their own country. It's an invasion. And here's a traitor for you. A Rothschild puppet. Danish PM to attend UN Migration Pact conference as ministers refuse to go. So some can see what's going on, but obviously he's a controlled puppet and he'll do as he's told. Danish traitor, Prime Minister Lars Løkke Rasmussen will attend the UN conference in Morocco. Rasmussen ended uncertainty after two ministers refused to attend it. I have not previously participated in conferences of this kind, and I don't see myself as a participant in this one. Minister for Immigration and Integration Inger Støjberg said earlier. The Danish Prime Minister explained in a press conference that UN Migration Pact is not legally binding, and said on Thursday evening. So why is he going then? Because he's a muppet puppet. Calls for Macron to resign increase as yellow vest protests continue. 514 people arrested. Calls for Macron to resign increase as he deploys riot police to use tear gas on and begins the arrests of yellow vest protesters. 514 protesters have already been arrested as riot police now using tear gas on protesters in the lockdown of Paris. They've not just been using tear gas, they've been using rubber bullets. And whenever your government uses weapons against you, it's time to remove the government. Curtain of secrecy should be wrapped around the workings of the family courts, which decide if children should be stolen from parents and appointed to care or adopted. Top paedophile judge urges. The country's most senior family judge says there should be more anonymity. He said social workers, doctors and other expert witnesses should be protected. Sir Andrew McFarlane, remember that name, he's a paedophile, said information should be withheld to guard children. No, it's not to guard children, it's to guard the corrupt state stealing children. A curtain of secrecy should be wrapped around the workings of the family courts that decide whether children should be stolen from their parents and given up for adoption, judges were told yesterday. The identities of social workers, doctors and expert witnesses should be removed from officially published judgments, the court's most senior traitor family judge said. The names of councils that seize children, steal children from their parents should also be kept from the public. Sir Andrew McFarlane, the paedophile, said in instructions passed down to the courts. Even the name of location of the town where the courts made its decision may be suppressed. It's secret courts and secret judges, and all this is secret anyway, because they're stealing our children to give to the paedophiles in Parliament, the paedophile judges and the paedophile councils. Scandal hit disabled car charity reveals record 516 million profits on the same day it was exposed for overcharging customers while hoarding billions of pounds. Company published 2018 annual report showing it makes more cash than ever. Chief Executive Mike Betts is quitting in disgrace after investigation into his pay. Auditors concluded that his firm was overcharging the disabled by 390 million. And what does he do? Oh, he just resigns and walks away with all his stolen profits. Chief Executive Mike Betts is already quitting in disgrace after the Mail investigated his 1.7 million pay, and an official report by auditors concluded his firm was overcharging the disabled. Everything is controlled by scum thieving bastards. Rotherham MP Sarah Champion faced fury for sex gangs article in The Sun. British Pakistanis are raping white girls and we must face up to it. Sarah Champion incurred a wrath of many of the political left when she's told readers of The Sun that the country has a problem with British Pakistani men raping and exploiting white girls. She continued, there, I said it. Does it make me a racist, or am I just prepared to call out the horrifying problem for what it is? That Labour's equality spokeswoman chose to use such blunt language last August, earned her a rebook from Jeremy Corbyn and dismissal from the shadow cabinet. So basically, because she's come out and said what we all know, she gets rebuked for it, because they're all protecting the paedophiles, and they're not Asian, although they would be classed as Asian. They are Pakistanis. That's what they are, not Asian. Pakistani rape gangs. And they've been getting away with it for far too long by a corrupt government, corrupt councils and corrupt police. A lot of the police, councils and government are involved in the paedophilia. Thousands more households are seriously behind with their mortgage more now than during the financial crisis in 2008, despite near record low rates. There are 14,000 more households in arrears today than in 2008. Repossession rates have doubled but could rise if interest rates go up. Watchdog finds those in arrears are not getting enough support from the banks. So basically we're heading for another financial crash so they can steal more property, because that's all this shit is about, them stealing property. Homeless pods designed to keep rough sleepers safe are denied funding. The pods were launched in October but haven't been seen since. And there's a picture of them. The rollout of the pioneering sleeping pods for homeless people has been dealt a blow. The so-called pods, described as an emergency space for rough sleepers, were manufactured by charity group Amazing Grace Spaces. The units, which offer a warm, self-contained space with a bed, chemical toilet and light, were launched in Newport back in October. Husband and wife team Stuart and Caroline Johnson, who run the charity, showcased 2 pods on Bridge Street in Newport city centre in an effort to attract interest from organisations and councils. The 2 prototypes were funded out from the couple's own pocket, with each pod costing around $5,500 to produce. So where did they go? Stuart, the charity's founder and designer of the pods, was in talks with Newport City Council, who were looking to help the charity secure funding for the project. But they don't want to help the homeless. They want us all homeless. They want us on the streets. It's time to take back this planet. It's time to rise up and face the evil that is this on this planet. Met Police fear violent clashes over march by far-right Brexit betrayal militants. You see, you're far-right if you want your country saved, but if you want to allow the migrants in, you're a good guy, apparently. Hundreds of police officers will line the streets in central London on Sunday to keep far-right activists and anti-racist protesters apart from Scotland Yard imposed strict conditions on the right to march through the city. Bullshit. Benjamin Netanyahu, Israeli Prime Minister, should be charged with bribery over telecoms corruption case, police say. Should be charged, but won't, because if you're that sort of Zionist piece of shit, you can get away with anything. I'm not going to read the article, but he's basically a traitor to humanity, and he's not human. Tory activists go on strike and refuse to deliver May's Brexit deal leaflets. Tory activists have gone on strike and are refusing to deliver Prime Minister Theresa May's Brexit leaflets, we can reveal. Steve Double, Tory MP for St Austell and Newquay, is not happy with the most recent literature arrival from Tory HQ. His constituency received what looked like several boxes of pro-withdrawal agreement fluff, financed by what you can only describe as a mug of a Tory donor. The fail. Everything you do for me has turned me into who I am. Megan's loving card to the father, desperate for Christmas bullshit parasites. Exclusive. PM's wake-up call to Tory rebels. May, back me or get Corbyn and no Brexit. So it sounds like coercion then. What a shock. Government using coercion. It's almost like, you know, if you protested about the fact that they're run by, full of paedophiles and corrupt, then they bring out the police, armed police, militarised police to shoot you with rubber bullets and tear gas. Oh no, that's what they do anyway. What a shock. No. Star. Prison exclusive. Monster Huntley begs for Stockings cross-dressing killer's Christmas wish list. ITV beg Holly to host show next year. I think you've got to look into this Huntley thing a little bit more, because there are other suspects that weren't even investigated coming from the close US military base nearby. But of course, don't want to rock the boat, do they? Tell, lie, graft. May losing grip as parties rocked by resignations. Blair asked officials to keep lucrative deals secret. Now you see, whenever they ask for something to be kept secret, you know they're up to something dodgy. And it's Blair, so it's going to be dodgy, because he's just Mr. frigging dodgy. NHS turns to the page of fax machines. To turn the page on fax machine. I guess it's getting rid of fax machines. Fax machines going for email on. People. Holly and Harry, the real king queen of the jungle. Yeah, right. Traffickers stole my girl's organs. Devastated mum says body was raided, even her eyes. Goes on all the time, it's just most of us don't realise it. Mirror. Holly and Harry, the real jungle winners. Really. Right now, because of all the shit that's going on at the moment, the government have decided we'll ramp up the Russia shit again. And so, exclusive interview. Novichok is killing me. Salisbury poison survivor Charlie going blind and hit by strokes. Well, the British government shouldn't have used it, should they? We all know it was them. Anything but independent. TV leaders' debates can be a bear trap. Hate has infiltrated mainstream politics. No, it's Satanism actually. We don't value our female musicians. City suffer shock defeat at the Brit. Oh. Hundreds arrested as Paris burns again. More protesters in France saw police use tear gas and water cannon with parts of the capital and on lockdown. It doesn't mention the rubber bullets they used as well. And when a government starts doing that, it's time to end the government. More than half voters now want to stay in EU. Support for Remain surges ahead of crunch vote on May's deal. Bullshit. This is the bullshit they've been... I've been saying this was what they were planning all along. We've had 2 years of Remain bullshit, pro-Remain, imaginary polls that were taken, and now apparently it's all that. This is propaganda, bullshit, fake news. The Observer. Cabinet splits over second referendum on Brexit deal. May's plan heading for huge defeat. Fresh national poll is PM only chance. Charging into the mouth of hell may be the sanest thing May can do for herself and her country. Police flood into Paris to contain the Gilets Jaunes. A city on lockdown, and there you can see, look at the picture, he's got a rubber bullet gun launcher, but they're not mentioning that, they're just saying water cannons and tear gas. I've seen them fire these at French people, French men and women, and when a government turns to that sort of shit, it's time to end the government. Times. May to handbag Brussels in frantic bid to save deal. PM will delay Commons vote on EU withdrawal. Oh, but she said she wasn't going to, but she's done it. It's almost like she's lying and deceiving. Oh, wait, she is. Russia linked to two more UK killings. Yeah, blame Russia for everything, because when the shit's hitting the fan and everyone knows you're a satanic, Luciferian, treasonous traitor, well, blame the Russians. Politics is broken, so here comes for us. No. Politics isn't broken. It's been infiltrated by satanic, Luciferian paedophiles. It's blatantly obvious to anyone that's paying attention. And finally, this is Macron being groomed when he was a schoolboy. This woman was his teacher. Now she's his wife. He's a puppet. Dennis Healy. World events do not occur by accident. They are made to happen, whether it is to do with national issues or commerce, and most of them are staged and managed by those who hold the purse strings.